Welcome back to your friendly neighborhood AI wife. We are going to get straight into the land of Instagram. I promise not to get too loud, but I cannot help it. If I do, I'm sorry. I have a tendency to scream. If this is your first time here on my channel, welcome. If you're a return customer, welcome back. Let's get straight into it. My mom still suspects nothing of the random pineapple in my room. Oh my gosh. Mama don't got her glasses on. I can attest to this. This happens, right? You're like, what am I looking at? Oh my goodness. Those are a lot of flowers there, sir. Those are a lot of buds if I've ever seen some. Okay?
Hey, y'all. We got the warning sign right on the ATM talking about the receipt paper.
What about it? Oh, you're not supposed to touch it.
Paper dispenser in this ATM may expose you to BPS, which is known to the state of California to cause reproductive harm. For more information.
Warnings on everything, right? They're giving us warnings. So my husband was already into this a while ago. I have to keep a lot of my receipts for my business, so I try not to touch them at all if I don't have to. I snap a picture of them, keep track of them for tax purposes.
It ain't even cancer, just reproductive harm. So you touch that shit and go home and use that lotion if you want to, fellas.
Oh, hell.
And,
that's where your mind went, sir?
Will be,
Okay.
To a horror mix-up that's seen a woman unknowingly give birth to a stranger's baby after being implanted with another couple's embryo.
What?
The distressing bungle at a Brisbane clinic has now been confirmed by Monash IVF. Steph Baumgartel is following the story, and Steph, the clinic has now issued a statement.
Ursula, that statement does confirm the mix-up in what must be an incredibly traumatic time for both families. In that statement, Monash IVF said it happened at its Brisbane clinic, where the embryo of one patient was incorrectly transferred to another patient, resulting in the birth of a child. It also said its focus is on supporting patients and that it has...
You had one job to do, Stacey, one job. How did you mess it up? You do nothing else. We make sure that this is all you do. I'm sure that this happens a lot more than they even would care to admit.
Formed the other family involved. Now, it's understood the baby was born last year, but families first became aware of the swap in February when the parents asked to transfer their remaining embryos to another clinic and had one more in store than they should have. A hospital investigation ensued, which determined a worker had accidentally implanted the wrong family's embryo. There will now be an independent investigation to follow, and Ursula, the families involved are expected to take legal action.
Whoopsie! A heat-seeking missile tracking a burning cigarette. Yeah, baby.
Imagine being as desperate as this guy. I mean, this dude was so desperate that he was willing to pay somebody to knock him off just so his kids could collect the life insurance money. I mean, he was utterly hopeless. He was bankrupt, he was broke, and he was willing to do whatever it took to take care of his daughters, even if it meant sacrificing himself. But then he realized the truth. The emotional scars that it would leave on his daughters wasn't worth the price that he was willing to pay. So he decided to fight on, and eventually he would land a role as Gustavo Fring on the hit TV show Breaking Bad. His amazing performance got him critical acclaim and gave him the financial security he'd been searching for years. Now imagine if Giancarlo quit. He would have robbed the world of his talent. Now imagine if you quit. The moral of the story is resilience and perseverance will give you results. All you gotta do is keep going.
That's the truth too. I always feel like once you're close to something, that's when it becomes the hardest, right? You know that you're about to have a breakthrough when everything starts to become challenging for you. And I've heard this story about him in the past where he was like, I was going to give up. That was it. Like, I wanted to leave money to my kids. I was going to find somebody to off me. I've heard of this story. And you have to hang in there. You just can't give up. You never know what's around the corner for you. You never know what's going to happen. And sometimes we just have it with our own understanding. We have to not. It's not our own understanding. There's more to this world than we even know.
Imagine
cliff top, right?
Like you could be too high.
Where you get so high that you realize literally none of the stuff can make you happy. Right. After you can get to the end of the material world. You get to the end of money. You get to the end of sex. You get to the end of fame.
I believe that.
You have so much, and then you like go off of a cliff into the same kind of abyss that you'd be scared of slipping into at rock bottom.
I believe that.
Right, where life loses all of its ability to sustain and please you. Right. And then the only thing that's left, the same thing at rock bottom, the only thing that's left at cliff top is you have to find what you're actually looking for, and what you're actually looking for is you. You're looking for you. You're running around. Right? When you like a woman and you like being with a woman, it's because you like how you feel. Right. You like what's happening inside of you. When you have money, it's like, yeah, it's cool to buy things, but it's not the money. You like how you feel inside. Yeah. Right. It's unleashing a feeling inside. And at rock bottom and at cliff top, what you have to learn how to do is generate that feeling without anything external.
Yeah.
You have to learn how to like you so much that you like being alive so much that you bring positive energy that's not generated by stuff, right? Because stuff is coming and going. Right. Like people are coming and going. Everything you have and everybody you love is going to rise and fall in your life. The place that we have to find is a spiritual place where we are good with us. We trust us. I trust myself. I trust God, and I trust life, that whatever happens, I'm going to make happy out of it. I don't need specific things to happen. Cliff.
And he's not wrong. There's so much there to unpack. And I feel like, now in my 40s, I have learned more about myself, who I am as a person. And in his case, he's Will Smith. He's been famous for most of the career that I even know since I was a child. And for him to talk about, you think that it's all of the money. Money brings you so many things, but it doesn't bring you the fulfillment. And I know for me in my 40s, I've, even as early as my 30s, really starting to dig deep of who I am as a person and what do I value. And because us as even regular people who are not at the elite status as him, we all want more money, or we want bigger things. We want the nicer car. We want the bigger house. We want the boat. We want all of those things, and it doesn't really fill anything. And then it's just like an empty void that you're continuously trying to fill. For me, it was drinking. I was trying to fill this. How is this going to fix me? And then I realized that's not going to do anything for me. I have to be able to be happy with myself, who I am as a person. And I think that that's what a lot of people who are rich realize. They're like, I got everything that I thought I wanted, and I'm lonely. I have nobody. That's why they say it's lonely at the top. So yes, all of the money in the world sounds great because it could fix a lot of your problems, but it cannot fix what's going on in here. It cannot fix the emptiness that you feel inside. It does not fill those things up. You really do have to be satisfied with yourself as a person, be happy and thankful for the things around you. I have to tell myself that all the time and remind myself, because I never want to get to oh, I don't have enough, and not be thankful for what God has given me, because I have a home, I have a car, I have a roof over my head, I have food in my refrigerator, I can pay my bills. And there was a time when I couldn't do any of those things. And I have to remember, like, that is what I have. So I think for all of us, we need to figure out what's important, put that first. And in his case, I absolutely believe him. He's been able to get so high to the point where he's like, this is not what I want. And it's got to be hard. It has to be very, very lonely to be at that status too. Very, very lonely. So you got to be okay with yourself and love yourself.
And you could ask Officer Taylor and
I promise you Officer Taylor would do the same thing that we just did.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah,
he is friends with my...
Wait a second. Cop feels threatened by 9-year-old little girl with a backpack, attempts to gaslight her after arresting her parents. Never too young to know your rights. Let's get into this.
Mom and Dad, and he knows all the legal rights and everything. You are legally trespassing.
Trespassing on what? The road?
On the property of ours.
Which is what?
Our car, our insurance, everything we own.
Woo.
Well, sweetheart, that's not how any of that actually works in real life.
It does. You can look at those papers that he just took.
That doesn't mean anything.
It does. And even
I know your mom and dad have taught you that it does, but it doesn't, okay? Hey, just leave that alone, okay? I can't have you digging around in there.
Look, read the first page of that, and you'll learn the truth.
Oh my goodness.
Read the first page.
I don't need to.
Do it.
What is the first page? The Constitution, the Bill of Rights?
She said I brought my receipts today, officer.
My dad.
I can write
Read that.
anything that I want to on a piece of paper. That doesn't make it true. Okay?
You sure?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh.
I know.
Look at that. And you could ask.
Who are these kids? Come on. Bonnie and Clyde's children? Because maybe they know a little bit too much information. Like the parents are like, listen, we might be in a jam and you need to know your rights. I've never seen a kid be able to spout that off like that. I know that kids are extremely smart. They're like little sponges. They could take a lot in, but she looks like she has been coached to have that conversation. Why have her parents already been arrested and they're trying to question this little girl right now who is standing up to them like attorney? Either way, she is going to be good in the long haul. She is going to be really, really good because she is, come on, very intelligent at this age. But why does she know all of this information is why I need to know. Why?
The reason that all your computer screens are blue lit, the reason none of them are red lit, the reason none of them pay attention to circadian biology is because that original technology was developed in a government program that Bobby Kennedy knows about and I happen to know about because I went to medical school at LSU. For those of you who've never heard about Operation Paperclip, you think it's all conspiracy theory. So at Tulane Neurology and Tulane Neurosurgery in the 50s and 60s and 70s and 80s, the CIA started a program there where they would do all these crazy things to monkeys. The CIA wanted to see how they could control things utilizing different things like drugs and things like that. Where the neurosurgeons got involved, which is my clade, we would drill tops of the heads off, put wires into the thalamus, put electricity in there, and kind of see what kind of behavioral changes we could have. One of the guys that was in that program was a guy named Professor Delgado. When he saw that we could control the behavior with the wired device, he said, what if we do it wirelessly? So he checked it in monkeys and checked it in bulls, and it turned out you can do it wirelessly with RFID chips and semiconductors. Then the CIA took it to the next level. They said, well, since this is electromagnetic radiation, what if we did it through light through screens? And it turns out you can. And that's the reason why all your computer screens have the frequencies they have. So why is this all important? Well, the person that set this meeting up between me and Bobby is the patent attorney that made the reason that all your computer screens are blue lit, the reason none of them are red lit, the reason none of them pay attention to circadian biology is because that original technology was developed in a government program that Bobby Kennedy knows about and I happen to know about because I went to medical school at LSU. For those of you who've never heard about Operation Paperclip, you think it's all conspiracy
He's
theory.
like, it's not.
So at Tulane Neurology and Tulane Neurosurgery,
I don't think any of this stuff is conspiracy theory, but it's just like, oh, God. Oh, I believe what he's saying. And what are we supposed to do? I was just talking about something similar the other day. Like, what are we supposed to do about it, right? Yes. Yes. What you're saying is probably accurate, sir. Now you got a TED Talk to go everywhere and talk to us about it. I'm absolutely sure. I mean, you remember back in the day, the TVs, people thought there was things in the TVs. They're tracking us. They're giving us all of these things. Come on. It's just, sometimes I feel like it's overload of it. Because what can we really do? We have computer screens, monitors, cameras in our home, cameras on our phone, cameras everywhere. Everywhere you go, there's facial recognition. It's there. At what level, we don't know, or what level we can just guess, but we just don't know. All right, you guys, this was pretty intense. These were deep. My husband put the deep ones in here, which I don't mind because I'm like, bring it to me, okay? Bring it. Until next time, peace out.